This is just a quick update video on my kitchen project at home. I'm just working on this wall with all the surfaces. This is where all the cabinets are going to go. I've got this gap up the top. I've just cut down some strips of drywall. I'm going to fill this gap here. Then I'm going to tape it in. So before I mix up the mud, I'm going to get these strips on and then work on everything else. Our sheets are 1200 millimeters and stacked together it's 2.4 and our ceiling's a little over 2.4.
Do you need salt so it can
That'll do.
like, dry out and stuff?
Yeah. You watch, I'll show you. This will be nice and dry on the wall. I'll be able to put the second coat on with that same mix. Okay, that's a little hot tip. If you're looking to get something to dry really fast and you're using the powdered form, the chemically setting compound, which is not the pre-mixed, it won't work with the pre-mixed. But if you don't have plaster accelerant, which is the official product to use to make it dry, just pull out some salt, add some salt. Doesn't really matter, the more salt, the faster it's going to dry. I haven't seen anything happen to a wall that I've used salt. Some people say don't use it, but it's always worked fine for me if you need to. We're just loading this up right now. Thought I'd get a coat on, salt it up, and then I can do everything else and come back to this and put another coat on afterwards. So that's my plan. And I didn't get that coated up. I ran out of mud on my taping coat. If you watched my last video, if you haven't seen that, check it out. I'll put a link below. So this is the outside of the kitchen where I've joined the walls to the existing walls. We had this big butt joint, so just using my 12-inch blade now and skimming down the wall. This is the salted mix, so if I need to put another coat on here, it should be fine, but I think one top coat after this should be fine. After I've salted this will be dry, ready to coat over again in about 25 minutes, if I need it to. I've still got some left in the bucket for that. It's looking fairly flat, looking pretty good. I still have the rest of that timber trim where it meets the VJ boards. I have that to pull off and replace with some more modern type. Make sure when you're done your taping and you're going to second coat it, make sure you give it a good scrape down. Get any loose bits, or you can find what's hollow, what's sticking out. Scrape anything back that's sticking out, and then you can go for it. Now we're doing our second coat, so it's going to have one coat over this. You want to load everything up nice and flat, especially this corner cement. You can't sand it. It doesn't sand at all. Any of the chemically setting compounds, which is the powdered form, doesn't really sand very well at all. Actually, some do. They have some easy sands and that sort of thing, but this product, corner cement, is very strong. It's very, very hard. It's not easy to sand back. So just getting a few screws. Here we go. Got my range hood duct sitting above this ceiling, ready for my range hood to go up. And make sure you tune into the next video, because we're going to be putting these cabinets in straight after this. I've been looking forward to this moment. You're going to set everything. A lot of it's going to be hidden by cabinets, so I'm not going to top coat yet. I'm just going to get straight in, start putting my cabinets in on this wall. So I'm going to have these cabinets going to about 2.1 meters, and then I'm going to build a bulkhead and run some plasterboard on the top with some corners over the top. So you're not going to see this back area of the wall at all, but I am going to tape it in just for insulation purposes and make sure there's no vermin that can run around the top of the cabinets. This is the other big butt joint that we ran some cables behind this wall. There was actually a wall here right where I'm setting. There was two lights on two different power points, so I got the electrician to put it all on this one power point. If you didn't watch my last video, I explained you shouldn't put a join above the door like this, but I was running out of this sound check board. That's all I had. There's like one offcut left, so I wish I could have done it longer. This is the little corner where I have my fridge going in. Between the fridge and the door that wall will be painted, so we're going to make this joint good, so it's going to have one more top coat. And just on the left here, that'll be the back of my fridge space where I am now. So I'll make sure I get all of these screw holes. I've actually glued and screwed these walls, so we'll see how they turn out. You're not meant to screw where you glue. You're meant to keep them at least 200 millimeters apart. And that's about it. I'm just using this leftover mud to tape in and seal up this corner. I'll just fold the paper and jam it in there, skim over it. That way no bugs can fly through or any mice or anything like that. It's all going to get covered with the overhead cabinets anyway. Once the overhead cabinets are up, we're going to be putting plasterboard up. We're going to frame it out, put plasterboard up, then we're going to have to cornice around it as well. So I'm pretty sure you can't get this Cairo 4-step cornice that I have in the other half of the room. So we're going to have to rip all of the rest of it down if we can't get it. We're going to have to pick something else. We might even go for a trip out to Ornamental Cornice and see my mate Paul and see if he can hook me up with some beautiful profiles out there. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you're up to down below. Let me know where you're from, and I'll catch you next time.